Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS podcast, produced by Terrier TV, which is at Titusville High School, just in case you were curious where Terrier TV is.
Yes, that's where the beautiful studios are.
Beautiful. Beautimus.
Beautimus.
It's one of my favorite words, beautimus. So, as always, I'm joined by Bill and Cindy. Thank you guys for being here. We're super glad Cindy is back up and feeling like the superhero she is. I like to say on the air just because I say it off the air all the time, and she always fights it. So now it's been putting out there to the world.
That's right.
It's been putting out there to the world.
Putting out there. Boy, we're just making up words
what in
today.
the world is going on
to a
here?
good start.
Yeah, the next thing I know, I mentioned blowing out flip-flops, and we just lose our flipping minds.
There we go. Yep.
Flip-flops, flipping minds. Again,
Yep.
It all goes together. It makes complete sense.
Yeah, Frank was complaining that he had to wear shoes all day today.
I did.
And by shoes, he means flip-flops. I mean,
It was a
not
struggle.
like real people mean
You don't
shoes.
understand the struggle.
You don't understand the struggle.
I don't understand
of wearing
the struggle
shoes.
of wearing shoes.
You
No. I think if I
Oh,
tried
my
to
garage.
teach one day barefoot,
It would change your life.
I would get some calls.
It would
buddy.
change your life, though.
I would get some calls.
It would change your life.
I'm sure it would change my life.
Or do you have super hairy feet or something? I mean,
Oh
they're
yeah,
like one of those,
my friends used to say I had hobbit feet.
Did they for real?
Oh yeah, you got hobbit feet, man.
That's hilarious. I don't know why all my mind all of a sudden went there.
Feet. I hate everything about
Do you?
feet. Oh,
That took a turn. Well, you
Yeah.
should have never said that in your daughter's in the same room your daughter's
that
in.
she's aware of.
Oh,
and
she knows about that.
She uses that to her advantage sometimes too.
You like walk in a room and she's picking her nose with her toe or something?
Oh, now I see why I wasn't allowed to talk about her on the podcast.
Frank's going to extremes here.
Yeah.
Extremes.
Yeah.
So,
this makes sense.
yeah, today I did a educational program for the Great Outdoors. It's where I just came from before here. And of course, they had that whole incident happen out there last week. So just tried to share some good information with them. They had pretty much the whole community there. It was had the whole place packed full of people, and
Oh wow.
it was it's anytime you're embracing a subject like that in a neighborhood that's split, because they've been split for a while. It's a tough conversation, and you got to approach it very gently and as truthfully and as straightforward as you possibly can, and give them the facts and the information, and then make sure they know to take it and go somewhere with it. Like, make some community choices and decisions, and decide where you're going from here. It's not I can't answer the hard questions for you. Here's your data. Now you guys do with it as you please. So I hope it makes a difference. I hope it went well. Everybody seemed very thankful about it. When I left, law enforcement from FWC was there chatting with them, and just hope for the best, So it's a big part of what myself and my family's done for a long time, and it's nice to be able to do that through EEARSS, is to have those tough conversations and just give people the data. Here's the data, here's your information. Do something, please. Please now, for the first time ever, make a difference. It's a lot like we had Stell on talking about the pollution issues, how it's great that everybody wants to fix let's say the lagoon and fix the problems that the lagoon has. But if you don't get the whole community that surrounds the lagoon and the people who are visiting it and using it for recreation on the same page and doing the same things, you're wasting your flipping time.
Yeah.
You're just spinning your wheels for no reason. But if you can get everybody on the same page in a community like that, which is very hard to do, but in a private community is definitely doable, you've made every difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just
Do we know yet with this case, was it another case of a gator having been fed by people, or do we know?
It's not something I'm not really at liberty to discuss.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's something they're kind of still figuring out too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a.
So now, how was the turn? Now that's kind of a.
It's a big community.
Yeah, but it's a lot of winter visitors, right?
Yeah, and everybody's in town right now, which was nice. So
Everybody was there.
That big. I guess they call it the manor, the big building they had out there.
Right. Yeah.
There was standing room only. It was packed full. So
in 2 days, Friday night, that's where THS is having their prom.
Really, I did not know that.
In the manor, yeah, right there. You were just there.
You
could have danced a little in the middle.
Oh, I did. In my mind, I was dancing all over the place.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, mentally dancing. No, but I think it went well, and just I hope the best for that community. There's a lot of good, like every community. The Space Coast, we're so blessed with some amazing groups of people. It's not that there isn't groups of people like that all over the country, because there are, but I think we're really spoiled with the people we have here, and everybody's might have different ways of looking at things, but it's a lot of good people. It's a lot of really good people.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy out there that asked a question, and he asked a question it was one of those that you're like, that was one of those you got to work out with God or something. I said something along those lines. It was a question that there was no yes or no answer to, and I kind of joked about it, and everybody laughed at him. I was like, listen, guys, we can't be laughing at people asking conservation-related questions. He's legit able to feel the way he does, be worried about what he does, and you can't judge him for that. That's completely up to him to feel the way he wants to feel.
And if you don't ask questions, you don't learn anything.
Right, exactly. There's nothing wrong with expressing your feelings on a situation, but I digress.
As usual.
Yeah, it's usually I end every statement. Not every statement.
At least once a show.
At least once a show, I try to digress on something, just because it seems super duper fancy. And by the beard, it might trick you, but I'm not that fancy usually. So anyhow,
there we go.
All right. So today on the podcast,
but you are wearing the fancy clothes today.
I am.
You are.
Yeah. But again, we're in flip flops.
With his flip-flops.
Yeah, it made it work.
And flip flops.
Yeah, it made it work. So today on the podcast, we are joined by Laura Kutryb. Laura, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, reading your bio was very neat, and look at that line up there: humanitarian, philanthropist, a fancy French word. There's all kinds of amazing.
He can't say entrepreneur.
A fancy French word.
Yeah, he was trying to hide that very cleverly.
Yeah, and then Bill just tosses it out
entrepreneur.
there. Just Bill just tosses it out. Entrepreneur. So
Entrepreneur.
If you
Panure.
hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known. My eyes have gotten so bad, I can't see that screen.
Oh, okay.
I would have never known. I was like, I wonder what
I
he's
know a
talking
good
about.
doctor for you.
That's true. She does know a
She
guy.
does, yeah.
She does know a guy. So, Laura, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about you and your journey to being the humanitarian, philanthropist, and entrepreneur you are.
Sure. Well, part of that journey is I was Mrs. Classic Universe a couple years ago. I was crowned, and part of that was due for my platform. I was born with a deformity called torticollis, where one side of my face was lower than the other. And then I have a mother and a brother who have cleft palate and cleft lip. So I took it upon myself to raise money for Operation Smile and went to Bogota, Colombia, and visited with the kids and the surgeons there. And it was a phenomenal experience and something that I really enjoyed doing.
That's great. So, yeah, when I first reached out to you about doing this podcast, it was because I think everybody pretty much here on the Space Coast knows what a difference you and your husband are trying to make here with different organizations and different causes and things you're doing for people. And that's one of the many things we like to do here on this podcast is highlight people that are making a difference. And you guys have been making a difference for a long time, and in a lot of ways.
Thank you. Well, you don't realize that anybody's looking because obviously you don't do it for that reason. Although I might wear a fancy gown for that reason. But other than that, yeah, thank you so much.
It's a fun bonus that comes along with that.
Exactly.
Right. Sure, I'll dress up.
So I know one of there's a lot of different causes, like you were just talking about, that are really tight to your heart, things that you guys deal with. I know one of those is the SPCA. You do a lot of stuff with the Rotary Club.
The Humane Society.
The Humane Society.
They have a
yes.
little
Like
bit of a
there?
competition.
Oh,
So,
really?
You said the wrong
Did I say the
thing.
wrong one?
He did. He said the wrong
You
thing.
said
Oh, my
I get in
garage.
big trouble for that.
Do you, for real?
Yeah, like I love to support everybody's causes, and of
Okay.
course, what dog belongs? They don't know that they're at the, SPCA or
Yeah.
they're at the Humane Society.
Right.
Lord forbid. But if I show up at something every now and then, there are people who will call me in. Yeah.
What?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh, my garage.
So I'm a big rep for the Brevard Humane Society because I'm on their board. But of
Okay.
course, my heart's with every homeless animal.
No doubt.
sure.
What is that, being on the board for them, what does that entail?
So it entails a monthly meeting and then, providing sponsorship and any kind of volunteerism that you can possibly do.
Being part of a nonprofit board nowadays is not for the weak of heart. It's hard. There's more and more that's involved with it every year. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, the more that you can give, the better, of course. I'm hoping to have a big fashion show sometime this summer, maybe call it Bikini Babes, and
Okay.
try to get the sheriff out there to be his funny self.
Well, I hope you'll let us know when that's happening. We can come back on and chat about that again, too.
Let's do
That'd be
it.
pretty fun. So I know you're involved in the Rotary Club as well.
Yes, I am. And
So tell us about that.
I would love to. So Cocoa Rotary, it's a wonderful place to network and then give back to the community. So every year we have Party in the Park. I think this year we had a country singer and we gave most of the money for the Boys and Girls Club. There's
Okay.
and then they do a lot for the hunger shelters. in the area.
Yeah.
So, and we meet at Eastern Florida College every Tuesday at noon if you want to be a part of that.
Okay. Sounds neat.
Yeah, we had the Boys and Girls Clubs on there. We had a guy from them.
Richard Yount. Yes, he's
Yeah.
one of the big
Yeah, he was
dogs there
on
with the
there, yeah.
Boys and Girls Club. We had him on maybe 10 episodes ago.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
They do really good work.
They do.
And
Yeah.
it's so exciting that we have one here in town now, because that's something that has been lacking and needed.
Super
for decades.
undervalued.
Yeah,
Undervalued
absolutely.
group. Without a doubt, they've made a difference, and they've saved a lot of lives. They've
Yeah.
saved a lot of lives.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So, was it maybe 2 months ago? You invited me to this this premiere of the show.
Oh, yeah,
That,
this show.
honest to goodness, I had never heard of. I'm like, I had never heard of the show. I'm like,
The number one show on Bravo, I'll have you know.
I had never
Oh, yeah.
heard of it.
1.5
Flex.
million viewers on
How
the first
cool was
view.
that? Yeah, there you go. So tell us about this show, how you ended up on it, and tell us that story.
Sure. So I randomly saw this on the internet, right? That we're looking for people who want to be on Below Deck. So I responded, and then you know how it is. Every time you go shopping, you have to sign up on your email. So I don't check my emails. So I see, I was invited back 3 months later. And I call them back, and they're like, 3 months ago, we told you that, we'd like to have you on the show.
Uh-huh.
And so they said, well, instead of going to the Mediterranean, you can go to St. Lucia. Would you like to do that? I said, sure. So, but technically, you're paying for vacation. It's around $500,000 to rent this yacht for the week. So you rent it for 3 days. They give you a little discount if you agree to be mic'd every time you come out of your cabin. And then they might or might not use your show.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
So
big
you're not
gamble.
paying to be on TV. You're paying to go on vacation. And the bonus, if you're a ham like I am,
Yeah.
you'll sign up and, get the discount.
So what exactly is Below Deck?
So Below Deck is a reality show that I would say the main focus is the interaction between the crew. Who's sleeping with who's
Oh,
drinking
gosh.
too much. And then the second plot would be the guest,
Okay.
Did
you have a good time doing all that?
I had a great time. We,
Were you a fan of the show? You were a fan of the show before you ever got on there.
I watched the show every now and then, but I wasn't an adamant fan where I knew every single person.
Okay.
So, but I got to know Captain Sandy, who is phenomenal. And by the way, she just started her own charity, Captain Sandy Charities. And then she gives back to maritime. And she has come up with a whole educational curriculum for maritime. Because when she was younger, she had trouble with drugs and alcohol and had lost her way. And then she began working with the boating industry and worked her way up. And she says it saved her life.
Those
wow.
are my favorite stories to hear.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. She was a party animal.
Wow.
And now she parties in a good way.
And who better to reach people than somebody that's been through it, to be able to say, look, I was there. I did
For
that.
sure.
I lived that. Now look what I've become. Look what
You
I've
will
done.
have to have her on. Her story is just wonderful.
Wow.
Is she a local down here?
She's going to be in Jacksonville. She's actually in Colorado right now.
Wow.
Yep, they're finishing her house.
All right. We'll just see if we can pull that one off. That'd be interesting. Yeah, it's always nice hearing good stories like that where people have learned from things and they're using that, what they learned or what they went through or what they, their experiences to make other people's lives better. That's the jam.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the jam. So basically, what you're describing is this show is a soap opera on the water.
Yes.
Soap
And I
opera
get
on
to
the
be a
water.
part
live
of it.
action.
Yeah, so when I came on, I wore my gown and my crown, and it's.
I saw
know,
the
they
highlights. I was cracking up. I'm like, this is
They
hilarious.
said,
I
"Look,
would
this-
be the worst on the show. I would just, oh gosh, I would be starting so many rumors. I'd be like, oh my God, did you hear this? Oh my God. And then I just sit back and watch it all go up in flames. Like, yes, chaos.
So I guess that is the variable every time is the guest that's on there, right? And then
Yeah.
how they're going to impact the world of the crew.
Yeah, do they drink too much? Are they trying to sleep with this one? Or some of them were smoking their cigars backwards, and not my guys, but there were people.
Smoking cigars backwards.
Yeah, and doing their little hookahs.
Smoking
Oh,
Me,
cigars
we had a
backwards.
drag show on my show.
Don't dig too deep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
I
above my
remember-
pay grade.
I
I guess.
have had a conversation with somebody in my family about this show, and they absolutely love it. And I can't remember who it was, but one of my girls, I think, really loves this show.
Huh.
And,
I know,
they
apparently
talked about it.
There's some guys at the Titusville Fire Department that they're
They're really
big
into
into it. Yeah. So I've heard, because I remember whenever we first talked, I was like, I got invited to a Below Deck premiere. And the guys were like, "No way, that's our jam at the fire station." And I was like, "What? Like, really? What's it about?" And they're like, "Oh, they started digging into it. Tell me about it." I'm like, "Y'all are into soap operas at the fire station. Okay, more power to you."
There you
Like,
go.
all right, that sounds pretty jam up. So yeah, it's interesting.
So many of my coworkers are too. I think it has to do with the amount of trauma and crisis that you see. Like when you go home, you just want to watch something that
Something
you can just
mindless.
you can just
Yeah.
let loose.
Yeah.
You can just be like, look at this. All right.
So now, do you get recognized? Do people say
You know,
things
not
to
as
you?
much as I'd like. It's more like, did you know I was on the show? Oh my God, really? And then they go look it up. I'm going to watch it tonight. So
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
wow.
Your husband is a very prominent doctor here in on the Space Coast. Actually, did surgery on my mom last week.
oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no joke, no joke about it. Tell us a little bit about you guys and your journey, how you all met, and your relationship and how you guys do all this stuff together.
Okay, sure. So we met actually on a blind date.
Really?
Yes. So my best friend was traveling one day, and they both had layovers in St. Louis, in St. Louis, and she thought he was kind of cute, and they exchanged numbers. Yeah, and then he just wanted to be friends with her, and he told me, she said that I met the perfect guy for you because she happens to be Jewish and he's Christian and he's reading his Bible. And then I was dating someone else, and he dumped me for his high school sweetheart that was going to divorce. She was getting divorced, and then, let's see. So then when he dumped me, then I told her to set me back up with the guy that she met on the plane. So anyways, I'm getting all tongue-tied. It's making me nervous talking about this.
Oh.
That's awesome.
So I guess we got married 25 years ago.
Wow.
And then I guess I really have enjoyed doing all the charitable work, and I kind of drag him around because he's more of an introvert.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. He's like, "Sweetheart, yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna go have a beer and relax somewhere else now. Thank you."
It always seems to work out that way too. Very extroverted people meet and fall in love with very introverted people, and then they travel the world together.
Opposites attract.
That's a beautiful thing. A great story.
Yeah,
That's a
thank
great
you.
story. So you have your crown out here and your sash.
Yes. So if anyone is interested in participating in a competition, this particular beauty pageant is for over 40. And you have a gown competition, go figure, and then bathing suit, which I think you can wear resort wear instead. And there'll be an interview about your humanitarianism that you do. And it's going to be in Las Vegas, July 9th through the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Are there any other big things you have coming up here that or any other organizations that you're a big part of that you want to talk about?
Well, I am part of the Port Ministries.
Okay.
So
I remember reading that now. Tell us about that.
So Port Ministries helps take the people that come off that work on the cruise ships. They provide a hot meal for them if they would like during the day, Wi-Fi and rides all around town. And then, of course, if they wanted any part of the ministry or they wanted any kind of prayer or anything like that, they provide that as well.
That's amazing because so many of those employees are so far from home
Mhm.
and they're away from
they're
everyone they know
stressed
and
out.
love for
Yeah.
months at a time sometimes.
So they can go shopping, and they can.
Aw.
There's a clothing area, or if there are clothes that are donated if they want anything. And then there is, besides the food, there's MoneyGram. So a lot of times they don't trust people to send the money home. So that's a nice thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So did I read it right as well that you're part of the Space Coast Tourism Council?
So I did sit on the board, and so they make a lot of decisions on who's going to get the money that's
grant money.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I was able to vote on that and participate last year.
So I was ironically talking to a lady named Deborah
Mm-hmm.
at
Webster.
Deborah Webster at the Space Coast Tourism Council yesterday about a grant we applied for as EARSS for the event, our EARSS event. And I've been trying to get one of them to come on here and talk about this because I think that is an undervalued resource that is here in our community. That's nobody. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows about it.
They
You know-
don't, and sometimes they don't know how to fill the paperwork out.
Yeah.
And the
It's-
more details that you have, the more likely you are to get the grant.
Yeah. It's not the paperwork to me was nothing. It was just the fact that all that group does with rebuilding our beaches through Army Corps engineers and all kinds of stuff. They're putting all this money out there that's being brought in via tax dollars and everything else. And it's just, man, what a huge resource that nobody even knows is going on. Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Well, how long has it been around? I mean, because it operates. They're basically working with the tourist tax dollars, right?
Yes.
Right.
I was only invited last year, and then
Okay.
funny story, I got an email to come to the next meeting, and then when I came, they said, "Oh no, you didn't get invited back. That was
What?
a mistake." So it's really funny because
Oh,
there's
goodness.
like 30 people there, and I walk in like, la la la
Here
la,
I
la.
am.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, you're not on the board this year.
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that took a turn. That story took a dark turn.
Anyways, yeah, that was a turn, wasn't it? But yes, you're
Oh,
right. It's
goodness.
a wonderful thing. And it's open for a lot of people. They had
It is.
extra money, and then they had another vote to divide up the rest of the extra money.
Yeah, I think you have to have held a previous event, have to have at least 1,000 out of county people be at your event, and there's a couple other different parameters, but it's money that's there for people to hold events with. So yeah, it's very, very unique.
And you know how they find out how many people you have?
Using some type of algorithm or
Yeah,
computer.
they get it from
something.
the cell phones that are in use at the event. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember the lady had me, Deborah had me put a circle around the area where we had our event, and they were pulling data. They're like, actually,
Very
you
interesting.
had a few less than 1,000 out of county people, so it's not. I'm like,
No.
Yep, that's a thing. Isn't that crazy?
I was like, well,
Make the circle
No.
bigger, Frank.
well, yeah. I don't want to. I'm not going to be dishonest about it. I'm
You're
not
not
that
being
guy.
dishonest. You're catching people out in the parking lot. You're catching, you know.
I made the circle pretty flipping big.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're being honest. The
Okay.
circle was pretty flipping big. It wasn't meant to be.
Okay.
So.
Well, now we know for next year.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yeah.
That's
So
right.
she was letting me know to do more advertising in Orlando and outside of over here to make those numbers better for next year. Sweet people, good people, but yeah, interesting group that nobody knows about. You want to do some trivia?
I always want to do some trivia.
I
Trivia
have
time.
The trivia this week.
You do.
I do.
We mixed it up.
Because I thought we have a guest who is in the real estate industry,
Oh boy.
and we would do some real estate.
Oh, I'm not
trivia.
going to know any of this.
Oh, you. Oh, yeah. It's not that hard.
Oh, before we jump into that, tell us about your real estate career real quick.
Yes.
Oh, sure. So I do have a house for sale right now in Cocoa, and it's two houses. It's the main house and a cottage, and then it has a covered dock, and it's $1.875 million. I'm sure
There you go,
have.
Frank. There you
That's
go.
sitting right in
Yeah,
the bank, ready
right
to
in my
go.
price range.
Yeah.
I
So
think I might have a credit card that can hold part of that. Yeah.
no, but
No, is that on River Road?
it is.
Yeah, it makes sense.
1613.
There's some beautiful houses down there. I've caught a lot of gators along River Road and a lot of different ponds that are back there, and on the riverside too. And I'm always going, man, these houses are something else. Like,
Oh,
man,
Right.
It's amazing.
especially as you get further down Cocoa too, that ledge around Rock Ledge gets so freaking high where you're like, man, there's no storm surges getting up here.
No,
like you
it's
ain't gonna
not
worry
gonna
about
flood.
it. Yeah,
No.
it ain't gonna flood. Now there's a couple spots down there by before you get to 528 that get real low, but
Yeah.
as you go further in, that's some amazing houses.
Yeah, so if anybody needs help with any range, I mean, it's wonderful that I do have that expensive house for sale because the commission's going to be kind of nice.
There you go.
But
Let's
if
jam
anyone
up.
needs help with anything, buying or selling, I'm your girl.
Okay, awesome. Good to know.
Okay, so some real estate trivia. Okay, what two-word phrase is used to describe the right of the government to expropriate private property for public use?
Okay, so can we go back with the word expropriate? What was that word?
They can take your private property for public
Oh,
use.
okay. So
I
Forgot that.
know
I
this
forgot. Me
phrase,
too.
eminent
say-
domain.
yeah, eminent domain.
The right to
There you
eminent
go.
domain. There we go.
Oh, you're looking over my shoulder.
There's some
I think
houses-
you're
No.
reading.
There's houses in
Do you
Cocoa.
know what my degree is in?
No, what's your degree in? Really?
Criminology and law, and that's legal.
Oh, yeah,
So
that is
that's why
legal.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, there you go.
I
There's
know that.
houses on US
So you
1
knew
in
that
Cocoa
one.
You know what
that
my
have had that
degree's in?
happen.
No.
Special ed.
That's
Really?
right.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
But go ahead.
There you go. Well, my grandparents lost their house to
Yeah.
they were widening a road in West Virginia. They were
Oh,
widening their
that's
road,
awful.
and the house that my parents grew up in, that my dad grew up in, they took it to widen the road, and they paid for it and everything, and they helped them move and all that. But still,
There's plenty of houses along US 1 in Cocoa. If you go down there and you're looking as you're going toward the water tower that have slices hung out of them from over the years of them widening a road.
yeah,
It happens all the time.
Yep.
And they have to give you normal assessed value. You're not getting what the market's inflated to or anything else. You're getting what
Right.
they
Oh,
what
yeah.
they deem it's worth.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, in my grandparents' case, they did not.
I'm
you
sorry,
know, they
Bobby.
didn't do a
Your
good
bedroom's
job.
worth $5. We'll buy you a cheeseburger,
Gonna
which is
have to
about what a
sleep in the
cheeseburger.
lawn.
Yeah, it's about what a cheeseburger runs nowadays. You ever notice that? Fast food prices. Well, let's not
It's
even get
getting
into
there.
Oh,
that
that's true.
discussion.
It
Yeah.
is getting up there.
Dear
Okay, so
goodness.
here we go. What term, important in real estate financing, comes from old French words meaning dead pledge?
Entrepreneur.
Bonjour.
Dead pledge.
Uh-huh.
Can you say it one more time?
Can we Google the
What
answer?
term, important in real estate financing,
Mortgage.
comes from old French words meaning dead pledge?
Mortgage.
Yes, that is correct. Boy, this is Cindy's day. This is Cindy's day. We got
I
it.
was thinking, okay, it's got to be something with mort because of
I
death.
always
Right,
feel
there you go.
smart. I feel smart until this starts.
Until this goes.
Yep, and then I
Okay,
feel like an absolute
Frank,
idiot.
here you go.
Uh-oh.
This one's according to urban legend.
Urban legend.
What type of animal caused the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 by knocking over a lantern?
I know this.
A bear.
I'll let him go first.
No, I thought it was a jacaranda or something.
Oh, wasn't it a dairy cow?
No, it was an animal of legend. Didn't you say
Something
animal
in
of legend?
Chicago.
According to urban legend.
Oh, according to
yes.
urban legend.
According to urban
It might have been a
legend.
cow or a horse.
So,
Well, sorry, because remember back in
Laura,
the day.
you got a guess in here?
A cat.
No, back in the
No.
day,
That
all
does
of
seem
Chicago
cat-like.
is where all the meat and everything was
Oh, yeah,
harvested.
yeah.
It was just a big harvesting area, so it makes sense to be a
The
cow.
big stockyards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes sense to be a
yeah.
cow.
But actually, yeah, it was a
But
cow.
actually, it wasn't.
No, it was a cow, but it was Mrs. O'Leary's cow. It was a dairy cow, and she kicked over a lantern. The cow kicked over a lantern and started the Great Chicago Fire.
So on,
That's legendary. I mean, it may have been something else.
on the Chicago flag, there's 4 stars.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what those 4 stars are?
Of
No.
course not.
So one's from the Chicago Fire.
Okay.
One's from the World's Fair. One's from the other World's Fair, and then one's from There's 4 stars. Okay.
He brings up 4
There's
stars.
4
Can you
stars.
tell us 3.
The fourth one's from Chance the Snapper.
Yeah.
That's a secret 5th one that we're talking about adding.
The 5th one. Yes, the 5th star. Okay. What metric unit consisting of 10,000 square meters that is the primary measure of land in most countries?
Acre. Cubic acre? Cubic mile.
No, it's 10,000 square meters.
Oh, okay.
So it's metric.
So meters 3.
It's metric.
The standard.
It's the
measurement.
standard measure of land in most countries. Now, because we're not metric in the United States, it's acre. We got acres. But in most of the world, they don't do it that way. Do you know?
I should know. I know I'll know the word as soon as I hear it. My dad is somewhere right now. The land surveyor.
Oh, yeah, he's
and him-
screaming
the
into
land
this thing,
surveyor. My
telling you.
dad's like, "Your land's
Is that what
right."
a hectare is? Hectare?
Yes, you
Oh
are
my
correct.
gosh.
You
Wow.
what the
Are
heck?
correct.
I flip and
Hectare.
quit.
Hectare. Hectare.
I don't even know how to say it. I've just
I don't
read
either. I
it.
mean, but, yep. There you go.
Where'd you pull that one out of? Holy
There
moly,
we
Cindy!
go. Very good.
Wow, I just might as well. Just
Okay.
retire one.
Here we go. This one, you guys can all get this one. I'm pretty sure. In the mortgage banking industry, what is the term for a payment associated with the establishment of an account with a bank when taking on a loan?
Down payment.
So it's the term for a payment associated with the establishment of an account with the bank when
Deposit.
taking a loan. No.
The establishment.
The establishment of an account.
The establishment of account. It's not a down payment.
Nope.
I'm trying to remember when I bought my house, what all the different things I paid were.
I know, yeah, but I when I saw this, it's like I know that I've seen this one. I've seen this one because I don't know.
It's not the deposit.
No, it's not the
Associated
deposit.
with the
With the bank.
establishment of an account.
Yep.
Associated with it. Okay.
Escrow.
No.
Associated with the establishment of an account.
You ready?
It's starting the account. So it's starting
right.
the account
it's
with the
starting
bank.
the account. Yes, it's starting it. So it would be the beginning of the account.
That's just what it's called?
No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
what it's called.
I was like, that cannot be
So
the
if
answer.
it was the beginning of the account, it would be
It starts with the letter A.
primary?
Primary is going back.
no. It's the origination fee.
Oh, come
yeah.
on.
It's true.
The origination fee. Yeah,
Come
because it's the
on.
origin. It's the beginning of
Yeah.
it.
I'd have
Yep.
never got there.
So-
I would have said a million things
So
before that.
close.
I know it's a
Yeah, but I've
common
heard of
term.
it.
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
it. You see it
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
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 I'm an idiot.
But anyway, so those
When
were,
it comes to mortgage stuff, apparently
those
I'm
were-
done. Now, if there were alligators in their yard, they were asking the questions
okay.
or holding a sign up, I could probably answer what the question was. the
So
alligator
no, wait a
was
minute. The
asking.
Frank, what's
alligators are
the
holding
snake in
a
my
sign?
pond?
Yeah, yes. Frank, how do I make this bird stop eating my fish?
There you go.
This bird's got a giant pecker and he's pecking all my fish. So I mean, dag nabbit.
That
So,
sounded inappropriate.
yeah, that was wrong.
That was-
Thank you,
that
because he
was
said
thinking.
that one day and I died.
I
I
went-
could not recover.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got a big beak. I can't believe I
And
went
he
there
looked at
again.
me
I
like,
can't
what? I'm
believe
like,
it.
that's not
Yes.
what it's called, Frank.
Des-
No, it's called.
Desperation.
beak.
Yikes! All right, wow. This has been a podcast.
It has
We've
indeed.
come full circle.
This is
Yes, we
this
have.
is episode 39.
Is it really?
This will be episode
For
39.
this season. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's been an amazing season with a lot of incredible guests. So thank you for being
Yes.
here and being part of this.
Thanks for having me. Can't wait to come back.
If people want to go find you and your organization, as far as your real estate side or you in general, where can they go find you?
Sure. So I'm on Facebook at Laura Anders Kutryb, and I'm on Instagram. Kutryb is just the last name, and my email is kutryb@aol.com.
Okay. And yes, your husband takes care of my eye problems when I stick sand in my eye or something crazy too. So
He's the best.
he really is. And he'll usually look at me like what's this? What'd you do this time, Frank? But he very kindly handles it, and he is known for being one of the best eye doctors.
A lot of cataract surgery. He does
Yeah.
all the astronauts, is what I hear.
He's known for
Oh,
being
okay.
one of the best
Wow.
in the country, hands down. Yeah,
he
without
has
a doubt.
lot of autographed pictures that I snap and try to put on Facebook, and he tells me that's not what it's for.
No, he has a reputation for being the guy.
Oh,
Which
thank you.
yeah, it's and you guys have a huge reputation for all you do in the community and all you do for so many nonprofits and groups, and thank you for all you do for so many.
Thank you
Yep.
so much.
All right, guys, another podcast in the book.
There we go. Yep.
All right, I want to say thank you to Edna Wilson with Celebrate Remax Aerospace for your sponsorship of our program. Edna and her team are there to help you with any real estate need you might have on the Space Coast. So, yeah, all right, guys, you want to call it a day?
I think so. It's a day.
Frank, what do you say? You want to call it a day? He said yes.
There we go.
All right, y'all. Catch you all next time. See you next week. Bye-bye.